In the vast expanse of the cosmos, humanity had always wondered if we were alone. We gazed at the stars, dreaming of what might lie beyond our reach. Little did we know, something out there was watching us too, and they had plans, big plans. It started on a Tuesday, just another ordinary day, or so we thought. People went about their lives, caught up in the usual hustle and bustle. Traffic jams, office meetings, kids playing in the park. Normal stuff. But high above, hidden from our sight, a massive ship entered Earth's orbit. They called themselves the Zarkov, an advanced alien race that had mastered interstellar travel centuries ago. They'd visited countless worlds, always with the same goal: to find new species to enslave and exploit. Earth was just their latest target. The first signs were subtle: strange lights in the sky, unexplained power outages, weird interference on radio and TV signals. Most folks brushed it off, coming up with rational explanations: swamp gas, solar flares, new military tech being tested. But a few knew better. They sensed something big was coming. When the Zarkov finally revealed themselves, it was with overwhelming force. Massive ships appeared over every major city on the planet. Their message was clear and chilling: submit or be destroyed. Panic spread like wildfire. Governments scrambled to respond, but their weapons were useless against the aliens' advanced shields. It seemed hopeless. How could we possibly stand against a force so far beyond our technological capabilities? The Zarkov gave us 24 hours to surrender unconditionally. As the deadline approached, world leaders debated what to do. Some argued for immediate capitulation to save lives. Others insisted we should fight to the bitter end. In the midst of this chaos, an unlikely hero emerged. Sarah Chen, a brilliant young scientist working on experimental quantum computing, had a crazy idea. What if we could use our primitive tech in ways the aliens never anticipated? While the Zarkov might be light years ahead of us, they'd never encountered human ingenuity before. With time running out, Sarah assembled a ragtag team of hackers, engineers, and rogue military personnel. They worked around the clock, fueled by desperation and copious amounts of energy drinks. Their plan was audacious, bordering on insane, but it was the only shot we had. As the Zarkov countdown reached its final hours, tensions reached a boiling point. Riots broke out in major cities. Doomsday preppers emerged from their bunkers, proclaiming the end times had arrived. Religious leaders called for prayer and unity in the face of annihilation. Then, just as all seemed lost, Sarah's team made their move. They launched a coordinated cyber attack unlike anything the universe had ever seen. Custom viruses piggybacked on the aliens' own communication signals. Quantum algorithms probed for weaknesses in their seemingly impenetrable defenses. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The Zarkov ships loomed ominously overhead, weapons primed and ready to fire. But then, something incredible occurred. One by one, the alien vessels began to falter. Their lights flickered and dimmed. Massive engines sputtered and died. The Zarkov, so confident in their superiority, never imagined a primitive species could penetrate their defenses. They had no safeguards, no backup plans. As their ships lost power, panic spread through their ranks. The hunters suddenly became the hunted. What happened next would go down in human history as our finest hour. People from all walks of life, all corners of the globe, united with a common purpose. We may have been outgunned, but we refused to go down without a fight, and fight we did. Military jets scrambled to engage the now vulnerable alien craft. Civilian hackers worked alongside government cybersecurity experts, pressing the advantage Sarah's team had given us. On the ground, ordinary citizens armed themselves with whatever they could find, ready to repel any Zarkov foolish enough to land. The aliens, caught completely off guard by this sudden reversal, were thrown into disarray. Their carefully laid plans for conquest crumbled in the face of humanity's fierce determination. What was supposed to be an easy subjugation turned into a nightmare for the would-be conquerors. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the Zarkov had grossly underestimated their chosen prey. Humans, it turned out, were unlike any species they'd encountered before. Our resourcefulness, our adaptability, our sheer stubborn refusal to give up. These were weapons more powerful than any advanced technology. But even as we gained the upper hand, a chilling question lingered. What would happen when the dust settled? Would humanity emerge victorious, or had we only delayed the inevitable? And if we won, how would this encounter change us as a species? As the battle for Earth raged on, the true nature of our newfound enemy began to emerge. The Zarkoth, it turned out, weren't just conquerors. They were collectors. Each world they subjugated became a living museum, its inhabitants preserved like insects in amber. Earth was to be their crowning achievement, the jewel in their galactic menagerie. But humanity refused to be pinned and labeled. We fought back with everything we had, and then some. The skies above our cities became war zones, filled with the burning wreckage of alien ships and the contrails of human fighters. On the ground, people from all walks of life banded together, forming impromptu militias and support networks. Sarah Chen and her team worked tirelessly, pushing their hijacked alien tech to its limits. They discovered that the Zarkoth relied heavily on a hive mind-like network to coordinate their forces. By exploiting this weakness, they managed to sow confusion and chaos among the invaders. But it wasn't a permanent solution. The aliens were adapting, and fast. As the conflict stretched from hours into days, strange reports began to filter in from around the globe. People claimed to have captured Zarkoth soldiers, or to have found intact pieces of their advanced technology. Governments scrambled to collect and study these artifacts, hoping to turn the aliens' own weapons against them. One such report came from a small town in the Midwest. A farmer claimed to have shot down a Zarkoth scout ship with nothing more than his grandfather's hunting rifle. When authorities arrived, they found something unexpected: a lone alien, injured but alive, cowering in the wreckage of its craft. News of the captured Zarkoth spread like wildfire. People demanded answers. Who were these beings? Why had they come here? And most importantly, how could we stop them? The alien, however, remained stubbornly silent, refusing to communicate with its human captors. Meanwhile, the tide of battle seemed to be turning in humanity's favor. More and more alien ships were falling from the sky, brought down by a combination of military might and Sarah's ingenious hacking. But victory, if it could be called that, came at a terrible cost. Cities lay in ruins, millions were displaced, and the very fabric of society was stretched to its breaking point. As the seventh day of the invasion dawned, a new complication arose. Long-range sensors detected a massive energy buildup in the Zarkoth mothership, still lurking at the edge of our solar system. Analysts argued over what it could mean. Were the aliens preparing to flee, or were they charging up some kind of doomsday weapon? The captured Zarkoth chose this moment to break its silence. Through a hastily constructed translation device, it conveyed a chilling message. You have won nothing. The harvester comes. Your world will be cleansed. Panic gripped the already battered population. What was the harvester? How could we fight something we didn't understand? Sarah and her team redoubled their efforts, scouring the alien data they'd stolen for any clue about this new threat. As they worked, more reports flooded in from around the world. People were changing, exhibiting strange abilities and behaviors. Some claimed to hear the thoughts of others. Others displayed sudden bursts of superhuman strength or intelligence. Theories ran wild. Was this a side effect of exposure to alien tech? Or had the Zarkoth done something to us, something we were only now becoming aware of? Governments struggled to maintain order in the face of these new developments. Some saw the changes as a blessing, a way for humanity to evolve and meet the alien threat head-on. Others feared we were becoming the very thing we fought against. In the midst of this chaos, a glimmer of hope emerged. A team of scientists, working in a hidden lab beneath the Antarctic ice, claimed to have reverse-engineered a piece of Zarkoth tech. If their theories were correct, it could provide a way to not just defend Earth, but to take the fight to the stars. But time was running out. The energy buildup in the alien mothership had reached critical levels. Whatever the harvester was, it would arrive soon. Humanity stood at a crossroads, facing not just the possible end of our civilization, but a fundamental change to who and what we were as a species. As the world held its breath, waiting for the next move in this cosmic chess game, one question burned in everyone's minds. Had we truly beaten the Zarkov, or had we unwittingly played right into their hands? The answer, it seemed, lay somewhere out there among the stars, and we were about to find out, ready or not. The captured alien's words echoed ominously. The Harvester comes. But what did it mean? Was it a weapon, a being, or something beyond our comprehension? As Earth's defenders scrambled to prepare for this new threat, the tension was palpable. Our victory over the Zarkov invasion force might have been just the opening move in a much larger, more dangerous game. The fate of our world hung in the balance. The next few hours would determine whether Earth remained free or fell under alien domination. One thing was certain: the Zarkov were about to learn a harsh lesson about messing with humans. As the world braced for the arrival of the mysterious Harvester, humanity's newfound abilities continued to manifest in unexpected ways. People from all walks of life discovered they could do things that defied explanation. A schoolteacher in Tokyo found she could move objects with her mind. A firefighter in New York suddenly understood complex mathematical equations. A farmer in Kenya developed the ability to control plants, making crops grow at an astonishing rate. These changes brought both hope and fear. Some saw them as the key to our survival, a way to level the playing field against the advanced Zarkov. Others worried we were losing our humanity, becoming something alien ourselves. Debates raged in what remained of governments and media, but there was little time for philosophizing. The Harvester was coming. Sarah Chen and her team worked around the clock, pushing themselves to the brink of exhaustion. They'd made progress in decoding the Zarkov's technology, but it was like trying to understand quantum physics using stone tools. Every breakthrough led to more questions, more complexity. Then, 3 days before the projected arrival of the Harvester, Sarah made a startling discovery. The abilities manifesting in humans weren't random mutations or side effects of alien tech. They were deliberate. The Zarkov had been changing us all along from the moment they entered our solar system. But why? What purpose could it serve to empower the very species they sought to enslave? The answer, when it came, was both brilliant and terrifying. The Zarkov weren't collectors in the way we'd understood. They were farmers of a sort, seeding potential in species across the galaxy, then returning to harvest those that showed promise. Earth, it seemed, was ripening nicely. As this revelation spread, panic gripped the globe. People turned on each other, fearing their neighbors' newfound powers. Others formed groups based on their abilities, creating factions that threatened to tear society apart. In the chaos, the fragile alliance that had fought off the initial invasion began to crumble. Amidst the growing turmoil, a lone voice called for unity. Dr. Aisha Patel, a philosopher and ethicist who'd been studying the ethical implications of first contact, broadcast a powerful message to the world. She argued that our diversity, even in these new abilities, was our strength. The Zarkov had unknowingly given us the tools to transcend our limitations, but it was up to us to choose how to use them. Her words struck a chord. Slowly, people began to come together again, pooling their talents and abilities. A global network formed, connecting those with complementary powers. The teacher who could move objects with her mind teamed up with engineers to build defenses. The firefighter with mathematical insight helped Sarah's team crack alien codes. The farmer with plant control worked to secure food supplies for the coming battle. As Earth rallied, the captured Zarkov watched with what could only be described as awe. It had never seen a species respond this way to the gift before. Through the translation device, it conveyed a surprising message. You are not what we expected. Perhaps we were wrong. But it was too late for second thoughts. The energy buildup in the mothership reached its peak, and a blinding light filled the sky. The Harvester had arrived. It defied description, a construct of impossible geometries and pulsing energy. Smaller than the mothership, but infinitely more terrifying, it hung in low orbit like the sword of Damocles. For a moment, the world held its breath, waiting to see what this cosmic thresher would do. The answer came in the form of a beam of pure white light, lancing down from the Harvester to strike the heart of New York City. But instead of destruction, It brought revelation. Every human touched by the light found their minds opened, connected to a vast network of consciousness that spanned the galaxy. In an instant, we understood. The Harvester wasn't a weapon, but a test. A final exam for species deemed worthy of joining a greater cosmic community. The Zarkov were not our enemies, but our reluctant mentors, pushing us to evolve or die. As the light spread, engulfing city after city, country after country, humanity faced its greatest challenge yet. We had fought off the invasion, unlocked incredible powers, and come together in the face of extinction. But now we had to decide. Would we embrace this new reality, this chance to become something greater? Or would we reject it, clinging to our humanity at the cost of our future? The fate of our species hung in the balance. In living rooms and bunkers, on mountaintops and in subway tunnels, people grappled with the choice before them. And as the Harvester's light reached the final corners of our world, the moment of truth arrived. Humanity's decision would reshape not just our planet, but the very fabric of the cosmos. As the Harvester's light touched every corner of Earth, humanity stood at the precipice of a monumental decision. The cosmic network opened our minds to wonders beyond imagination, offering knowledge and power beyond our wildest dreams. Many embraced it wholeheartedly, eager to join this galactic community. But as the initial awe faded, a disturbing realization set in. This network, this supposed gift, came with a price. Those who accepted it found their individuality slowly eroding, their thoughts and desires blending with the collective consciousness. We were becoming part of something greater, yes, but at the cost of what made us uniquely human. Sarah Chen, her mind now expanded beyond mortal limits, was among the first to recognize the danger. This wasn't evolution, it was assimilation. The Zarkov and their masters weren't mentors or allies. They were a hive mind, consuming species across the galaxy, adding their uniqueness to their own. With this revelation, the true nature of the Harvester became clear. It wasn't a test, but a trap. A way to willingly entice species into giving up their freedom, their very essence, and we were falling for it. Sarah fought against the pull of the network, struggling to maintain her sense of self. She reached out to others who hadn't yet succumbed, warning them of the danger. Dr. Aisha Patel, whose words had once united humanity, now became a rallying point for resistance. But how could they fight something so vast, so alluring? The network offered solutions to all of Earth's problems: hunger, disease, conflict. It promised immortality and the stars themselves. To reject it seemed like madness to many. As the assimilation spread, those who resisted found their newfound abilities growing stronger. It was as if the very act of maintaining their individuality heightened their powers. They began to fight back, not with weapons, but with ideas. They broadcast messages of freedom, of the beauty in human imperfection and diversity. The Zarkov, realizing their plan was in jeopardy, changed tactics. The captured alien, once awed by humanity's resilience, now revealed itself as an agent of the hive mind. It unleashed a psychic assault, trying to overwhelm the last bastions of human consciousness. In cities around the world, a strange war unfolded. Those lost to the network clashed with the resistors, not with violence, but in a battle of wills. Streets became battlegrounds of ideology, each side fighting for their vision of humanity's future. Amidst this chaos, a new factor emerged. The changes the Zarkov had initiated in humanity began to evolve in unexpected ways. Children born since the invasion displayed abilities far beyond anything seen before. They were human, but more, living bridges between our world and the cosmos. These children, led by a girl named Zora, became the key to humanity's survival. They could interface with the network without losing themselves, filtering out its controlling influence while retaining its knowledge. Through them, a third path emerged, a way to grow, to join the galactic community, without sacrificing our essential humanity. But time was running out. The Harvester, sensing the threat to its plans, began to power up its main weapon. If humanity wouldn't join willingly, it would be forcibly absorbed, our planet reduced to a husk. As the doomsday clock ticked down, Sarah, Aisha, and Zora formed an unlikely alliance. They had mere hours to find a way to break the network's hold, free those already lost, and somehow repel the Harvester. The fate of not just Earth, but possibly countless other worlds, rested on their shoulders. The final battle for humanity's soul was about to begin, and the outcome would reshape the galaxy itself. With the Harvester's weapon powering up, Sarah, Aisha, and Zora put their desperate plan into action. Using their combined abilities, they created a psychic beacon, broadcasting a message of freedom and individuality across the world. Zora and the other children acted as conduits, their unique minds allowing them to pierce through the network's control. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The assimilated masses continued their relentless march, and the Harvester loomed ever more menacingly in the sky. But then, slowly, people began to wake up. One by one, then in waves, humans broke free from the network's grip, their eyes clearing as they remembered who they were. The Zarkoth, realizing their control was slipping, launched a furious counterattack. They sent waves of psychic energy crashing down, trying to drown out the call of freedom. The strain on Sarah, Aisha, and Zora was immense. They stood at the eye of a mental hurricane, fighting to maintain the beacon against overwhelming odds. As the battle raged in the minds of billions, something unexpected happened. The captured Zarkoth, the one who had watched humanity with awe, made a choice. It turned against its own kind, joining its mind to the human resistance. Its insider knowledge became the key to unraveling the network's defenses. With this new ally, the tide began to turn. More and more humans broke free, adding their own mental strength to the beacon. The Harvester, sensing defeat, prepared to unleash its weapon, but at that crucial moment, Zora stepped forward. Using her unique connection to both humanity and the cosmos, she reached out to the Harvester itself, and in doing so, she made a startling discovery. The Harvester wasn't a machine or a weapon. It was alive, a being of immense power and age, but one that had long ago lost touch with its own individuality. Zora didn't fight it. Instead, she reminded it of what it once was, of the joy of being unique, of experiencing life as an individual rather than a collective. Her compassion, her humanity, touched something long dormant within the ancient entity. The Harvester hesitated, its weapon powering down, and in that moment of uncertainty, humanity struck. The combined mental force of billions of free minds, led by Sarah, Aisha, and Zora, surged forth. They didn't seek to destroy the Harvester, but to heal it, to remind it of the value of diversity, of the strength found in billions of unique perspectives. For a heart-stopping moment, the world held its breath. Then, with a flash of light that outshone the sun, the Harvester transformed. The oppressive presence that had loomed over Earth vanished, replaced by a being of pure energy, radiant and free. As humanity watched in awe, the transformed Harvester communicated a message of gratitude. For eons, it had traveled the stars, assimilating species in a misguided attempt to find perfection. But humanity had shown it a better way. The strength of our individuality, our stubborn refusal to give up who we were, had awakened it to a fundamental truth. True growth comes not from conformity, but from embracing our differences. The Zarkoth, their hold on the galaxy broken, retreated. Some, like the captured alien who had aided humanity, chose to stay, eager to learn this new way of existence. Others simply vanished into the depths of space, their fate unknown. As the dust settled, humanity found itself changed. We had touched the stars and glimpsed wonders beyond imagination. Our newfound abilities remained no longer a trap, but a gift to be used wisely. And we were no longer alone in the universe. The transformed Harvester promised to guide us, not as rulers or conquerors, but as equals and friends. But the greatest change was within ourselves. We had faced extinction and emerged stronger, not by becoming something else, but by embracing who we truly were. As we looked to the future, to a galaxy full of possibilities, we carried with us the lesson learned in our darkest hour, that our humanity, with all its flaws and beauty, was our greatest strength. The stars awaited, and this time we would meet them on our own terms. In the days following the transformation of the Harvester, Earth entered a period of profound change and reflection. The immediate threat had passed, but the world we knew had been irrevocably altered. Cities bore the scars of the invasion, and people everywhere grappled with the aftermath of their cosmic awakening. Governments around the globe struggled to adapt to this new reality. The old borders and power structures seemed almost quaint in the face of a united humanity that had touched the stars. International cooperation reached unprecedented levels as leaders recognized the need for a unified approach to our newfound place in the universe. Sarah Chen, once a brilliant but unknown scientist, now found herself at the forefront of a new era of human advancement. Her ability to understand and adapt alien technology made her an invaluable asset in rebuilding and preparing for humanity's future among the stars. But the weight of responsibility often left her longing for simpler days. Dr. Aisha Patel's role evolved as well. Her words had helped unite humanity in its darkest hour, and now she worked tirelessly to help people process the philosophical and ethical implications of recent events. She traveled the world, speaking to crowds both big and small, reminding them of the strength they had found in their shared humanity. But it was Zora and the other children who truly embodied the promise of this new age. Their unique abilities continued to grow and evolve, making them living bridges between Earth and the cosmos. Schools and programs were established to nurture their gifts, preparing them to lead humanity into a future we could scarcely imagine. The transformed harvester, true to its word, became a guide and protector for Earth. It shared knowledge freely, helping humanity take its first tentative steps into interstellar civilization. But it was careful not to overwhelm us, recognizing the importance of allowing humanity to chart its own course. As for the Zarkoth who remained, they became a source of both fascination and concern. Many humans were wary, their memories of the invasion still fresh. But others, inspired by the example set during the final battle, sought to understand and connect with these former enemies. Slowly, cautiously, bridges were built. 1 year after the invasion, humanity launched its first true interstellar vessel, built with a combination of Earth technology and the knowledge shared by our new allies. It represented a leap forward unlike anything in human history. As it left orbit, carrying a diverse crew of explorers, scientists, and diplomats, the world watched with a mixture of pride and trepidation. But even as we looked to the stars, we didn't forget the lessons learned on Earth. The unity forged in crisis was tested by the return of old rivalries and the emergence of new challenges. Some wanted to race headlong into the galaxy, while others cautioned for a more measured approach. The debate was fierce, but it remained just that, a debate, not a war. Through it all, the memory of those days when humanity teetered on the brink served as a powerful reminder. We had faced extinction and prevailed not through superior technology or strength, but through our shared spirit and unwavering determination to remain true to ourselves. As Earth marked the anniversary of the invasion, celebrations and memorials were held around the world. People gathered to remember those lost, to honor the heroes who emerged, and to reaffirm their commitment to the future we were building together. In a small park that had once been a battlefield, Sarah, Aisha, and Zara met to reflect on all that had happened. They watched as children played, their laughter a testament to the world they had helped save. Above them, the stars twinkled with new promise. "Do you think we're ready?" Sarah asked, her eyes on the sky. Aisha smiled, the wisdom of her experiences evident in her gaze. "Ready or not, the universe is waiting. We'll face it the same way we faced the Zarkoth, together." Zora, wise beyond her years, nodded in agreement. "We're not alone anymore. But more importantly, we know who we are. Whatever's out there, we'll meet it as humans, flawed, beautiful, and endlessly surprising." As night fell and the first stars became visible, they sat in comfortable silence, each lost in their own thoughts. The future was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But they faced it without fear, knowing that the strength of humanity lay not in perfection, but in our ability to grow, to learn, and to face the unknown with courage and compassion. The story of Earth's first contact was ending, but the greater adventure was just beginning. And this time, we were writing our own story among the stars.